This is the 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate. Yes, that's a mouthful. And for a sticker price of $85,200, you do get quite a bit, including the 6.2 liter V8 under the hood. The exterior color on this model is onyx black. You've got the Alpine Umber interior. We'll take a quick look at that. We're going to take a closer look at everything, obviously, throughout the course of the video. The power side steps that have the button on the back that allow those to actually come forward, I'm going to show you that real quick. Let's just hit that button right there. See how that works like that? So what it does is it comes forward, and that allows you to actually gain access to the bed. If you need to grab something out of the front, it's super easy to do. And then when you're ready to put things back in place, you're just going to hit that button one more time and it goes forward. We're also going to have the multi-pro tailgate. In this case, what I personally believe should be standard as standard equipment on these trucks, especially when they're at such a high price point, not just the Denali Ultimate, but others below that. That's going to be the kicker audio system back here. So we're going to take a quick look at this truck that I borrowed from my friends at Morgan Buick GMC here in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more about this truck, check out the link down in the description of the video, and you can learn all about it and go in and buy it. And make sure to tell whoever you talk to that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you their way. Taking a look at the front end, you're going to have the Denali Ultimate Specific Vader Chrome Grille. A different look that I would imagine probably pops out pretty good here in the bright Louisiana sunshine this morning. That is going to be accented by the design of the daytime running lights along with the turn signal housing right here. You've got the blinkers on. That not only looks great, but it helps people around you to know what's going on when you're driving down the road. You know that polite thing when you use your blinker and let people know that you're turning right or changing lanes to the right or whatever you're doing. It's pretty cool. It looks good, it looks aggressive, and it also helps to keep you safe. LED everywhere you look with the daytime running lights, the headlights, and even though I don't have them on right now, you also have the LED fog lights down there. Now, you're not without chrome here on the front end, so if you like chrome, the lower portion of the bumper is chrome along with the tow hooks. Kind of wondering if GMC shouldn't make those tow hooks a different finish, just because I'm not sure how that chrome is going to hold up when you're pulling out the Fords and the Rams and the Nissans and the Toyotas out of the mud, and even some of those Chevrolets too. You never know, but it's there, it's okay. You can always fix that, put a rag in there or something like that to help keep the finish from getting damaged when you're pulling something out. When it comes to the overall design of the hood, it looks tough, it looks aggressive, it looks like this truck should. As far as the way it has its rise right here, you're going to have things kind of fall into a little bit of a valley right here, the nice large bulge in the middle, and obviously we'll repeat that on the other side. We do have quite a bit of extra lighting on this truck to help out with different features. Depending on what you're doing outside in the dark, that's going to help. You've got the light right here, the chrome mirror caps, and then we're going to have the flat black on the bottom. It's plastic, but that's good. It's not gloss black. It's going to hold up really well. And then also, these are heated mirrors, and they are also power folding. Let me step back here just a little bit. Hopefully you can see well enough to see that I am hitting the button right down here to make those fold. I did talk about the fact that you have the power side step. You're going to watch, that's going to go back in. Obviously that comes out when you open any of the four doors. And I like the fact that there's a little bit of a delay there. That way if somebody wants to hop in or out of the truck unexpectedly, they haven't gone back under the truck just yet. So that does have its advantages. You're going to have the chrome door handles with passive entry. So that means you can lock and unlock the vehicle as long as you have the remote on your person with that button. Here is the remote. You can see that it has lock, unlock. There's your remote start. And then the power tailgate, only power down, not power up. Waiting for GMC to add that. I think that would be a good idea. Like we have on the 2500s and up, that is an available feature. And there's the rest of what your remote looks like. More chrome surrounding the windows, or really more of a brushed aluminum surrounding the windows right here. A little bit of gloss black on the rear of the front door and the front of the rear door. And then as we work our way towards the back, we're going to have LED taillights. in addition to the other LED lights that are all over the vehicle. Basically LED everywhere you look. You're going to have the exhaust finishers right there. And you're going to notice, if you're familiar with these trucks, that the bumper step is not as deep as it is on other trim levels of these GMC trucks. The reason for that is all the technology that's built into this bumper alleviates the ability to be able to have those go in as deep as they do, but not a bad thing when you have the adaptive cruise control and all the sensors for all the safety features and all that good stuff. That's not a bad thing. That's why it's that way. You also have a light right here. Hopefully you can see that well out here in the bright Louisiana sunshine, as well as the cab light up there on the top of the cab as well. Tire and wheel size come in with 275 on the width, so quite a bit of meat on the ground for both on and off-road capabilities. The 50 series sidewall wrapped around, again, those Denali specific, Denali Ultimate specific 22-inch wheels. And under the hood that is held up by the struts right here, we've got the 6.2 liter V8, but there is the option of the 3-liter diesel engine if you choose to go with that. That would be the 6-cylinder. In this case, this motor is putting out 420 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 460. It's going to be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And how about the MPGs? Well, it is a truck. It may not have brick-like aerodynamics, but it's close. So you're going to expect that the numbers may not be as good, but not a big deal. 15 city, 19 highway, 17 combined, and 5.9 gallons of gas per every 100 miles you drive this truck. That's if you're not taking full advantage of that 420 horsepower. 1,690 pounds is the payload number, and 8,900 pounds will be towing capacity. But there is so much more going on here, including the tailgate. I told you about the multi-pro tailgate, so in case you haven't seen that, let me show you exactly what we have here. Obviously, you can open it in the conventional fashion, but that's not all. It kind of sounds like a salesman on the internet or on TV or something like that. So here's what we have. Well, let's start here, actually. We have basically what you can use as a table right here to eat lunch, to eat dinner, out on the job site, whatever you're doing. You can set up your phone on a tripod for a Zoom meeting, whatever it is you're doing, you can do that here. It's also a bed extender, so you can extend the bed like this. If you have something that needs to butt up against here, it's one of two ways you can use this as a bed extender. The other way, I'm gonna have to open the tailgate in the conventional manner here. And then what we'll do is we'll go right here and change it to the second option, as you can see. So if you have something that's an issue that you don't want moving around in the bed and you don't want to put it up on top here or anything like that, maybe you don't have tie downs or something and you're not going very far, it can butt up against here. So that does have its advantages in that respect. So close that back up. It not only does that, but let's see if we can hit the correct button. It also functions as a step. And the good thing about that I like here, it's a little bit easier to deal with the handle than it is with the Ford handle with their step out of the tailgate where you have to pull it out and put it in place and all that stuff. Not hard to do, not a big deal, but this one is easier. It does have the graphite material down here, kind of like grip tape on a skateboard. That's going to allow you to get up there and not slip. So let's do that real quick. I don't even need the handle really to jump up here, but I used it anyway. Very easy to do, very easy to get down as well. And then, like I said earlier, you have the kicker audio system back here. You have everything for your connection, your options for connection, so you can play music off of your phone or whatever your choice is. There's also lights up here that will shine down when it's dark. And you can see what you're doing here, as well as adjusting what you're listening to, adjusting volume, all that good stuff, speakers on each side. And that's not the only option package you can get here. You can also have extra lighting back here, whatever you want in that respect. Pretty easy to deal with. And then here within the bed itself, we have the in-bed lighting, which is going to be up here on the top. It's not back here in the rear where it normally is. Bad habit right there. I was looking for it there. It's up here with this particular setup. We're going to have the power outlet right here and 12 tie downs, 6 on each side, 3 in the front, 3 in the rear. And then the bed liner, you better get a bed liner for the price of this truck, right? That's right. And then a pretty simple way to put this back in. I say it's simple, there we go. Do it one-handed, and hopefully I can actually get that up there. But you can see what all you have here, a lot of functionality. Power sliding rear window, but we're just getting started. Let's hop into the interior and see what your rear seat passengers are going to find. Starting with the rear doors, we have the Alpine Umber interior. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have very nice contrast stitching in a couple of different areas, kind of almost that baseball style crisscross right there. And traditional stitching here, it's going to be white. Nice, comfortable armrest right there. Put my arm up there, it is pretty comfortable. And then brushed aluminum with the trim right here, as well as on the door handle. And the thing I like here is that you have the addition of the in-seat storage. And I know some of you use this, I know some of you don't, but it's just nice to know that it's here because that's additional storage. I think that's very wise on the part of GMC to take advantage of that space instead of just leaving it there like most truck makers do. That way you have additional space without much of a fuss. You also have space underneath the seat, the tools to change a tire, and let's see if we can get that back down. And something else that I like here, while you have a little bit of a rise to the transmission tunnel, as you can see right here, it's not near as high as it would have been in the past many years ago with other models of vehicles, trucks, cars, whatever, in the rear seat area. So whoever's stuck sitting in the middle right here isn't going to be so uncomfortable. Now let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'm not sure if I can or not, but you do have the inserts right here that are removable with the carpet. So that definitely helps out for keeping things good and clean. And then as we look here onto the center console, cup holders here, air conditioning vents. These are for the outboard seats as far as the heated seats go. That's why there's only 2 buttons. So whoever's sitting again here in the middle, they might be comfortable as far as the height of the transmission tunnel goes, but if it's really cold outside, well, their butt's going to be cold compared to those in the outboard seats. It is what it is, at least for now. Maybe GMC should add a third option there. Maybe so, maybe no. Tell me what you think. Connectivity options right here as well. Quite a bit going on back here. We've got the rear seat pocket storage. We also have the nice large door bins right there. It's nice to see large door bins on the rear doors, not just on the front. And let me reach up here. We'll take advantage of that. Now, you don't have a panoramic sunroof here, which for some people, not a big deal. For some people, they'd rather not have a sunroof. For some people, they would like to have the sunroof, the panoramic sunroof. Tell me which person you are where that is concerned. Also, the Alcantara headliner. And here on the front doors, the good news, you don't have the largest door bin just here on the front. Like I said earlier, they're about the same size as what we have in the rear. Pretty much the identical setup to what we already saw in the rear. Gonna have the Ultimate logo right here, GMC on the floor mats, and adjustable seats here. Fully adjustable, power for the driver and the passenger, heated, ventilated, and also massaging seats. That is a win. You go to the gym, you're nice and sore, it'll give you after a good back workout, for example. That is nice to have to give you that massage. And then a couple of different options here as far as space goes. You have the upper gloveless glove box, because I never find gloves in here, rarely. Every once in a while I do, but not very often. We did find some information on the Kicker audio system in here, so maybe that's what it should be called, a Kicker audio system card holder. Okay, I don't know. It is what it is. Got to have some fun with that. But you can see quite a bit of space there. Overall here on the dashboard, you'll see the nice large air conditioning vent, a little bit of surround here with not only the gloss black, but a little bit of brushed aluminum as well. And the same thing, we're going to work our way around with a nice brushed aluminum, working its way around on the trim, around the upper air conditioning vents, and some more of that contrast stitching here on the dashboard. And as we work our way down, one thing, if you're not familiar with these trucks and you haven't seen them since the updates for 2022, you know that you're looking right here and saying to yourself, at that price level, there's no wireless charging? Yeah, there is actually. It's just moved. It's right here. So all you have to do is drop your phone down in there and you're good to go. And you also have quite a bit in the way of connectivity in multiple places. You can see a couple of the USB options right there. Nice, large, multitasking lid for the center console. So you can use that as an armrest, the lid for the console as well. A little tray where you can serve snacks to people if you want to, or you can just leave that out. Put whatever you want to in there, obviously. More connectivity, like I said, quite a bit. Got the power outlet right here. And a lot of space way down there into the center console. Now, the one thing I'm always curious to know about is what would you rather have? Do you like the console shifter right here as it is, Or would you rather have the shifter located on the steering column? A lot of people seem to think that seems to be more truck-like. Which person are you on that? And then we have the controls up here for the power sliding and tilting, I should say, sunroof, also the power sliding rear window, among a few other things there. And we'll take a look here at the vanity mirror with the, hello everybody, with the sun visor. Let's see how far back this slides. That actually goes all the way back. Look at how far back that goes. It completely covers the window. So it's pretty much impossible, no matter where you're sitting, whether you're the passenger or the driver, that the sun is going to be an issue when it's coming in through the side window. Okay, let's open the driver's side door and take a look at what we're going to find here. A lot of what we saw the same will be here on the driver's side door as what we saw on the passenger side door, the door bin, the designs, the materials, all that good stuff. You do have seat memory for the driver, 2 different settings. At this price point, I would like to see seat memory on the passenger side as well. So what we have here, all the controls for the windows. I kind of showed you what was here earlier with being able to fold those power folding and power adjustable side view mirrors. But one thing you won't find here are the child safety locks. Why is that? That's because you activate those, you turn them on and off right here on the back door. When it's in the up position like it is now, they're off. When it's in the down position like that, they are on. Just so you know where that is, so you can manage that appropriately. So let's go ahead and hop inside here. Before we do, we'll take a look at what we have here, the mode selector on all the functionality there, everything for the lighting around the vehicle. You can adjust everything with your head-up display right here. You have the tilt and telescopically adjustable, power adjustable steering wheel, and you also have the controls on both sides for managing the radio, volume, stations, all that good stuff. So now we're going to hop inside here. Let's take a look at what goes on. I think we're going to get, yep, here we go. We've got the graphics coming up on both screens, the instrument display, the digital dash display, and the infotainment screen. So let's go ahead and hit that and get everything up and running here. And you can see what all's here. There's your truck. It doesn't have your color on it, but it is the same truck basically, just part of the graphics package that comes here as far as everything goes. That's telling you what mode you're driving in. So let's change the mode. There's sport mode. There's off-road mode. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, really. You could call me the Tom in the hat, I guess, in that case. And so those are your driving modes: normal, sport, and last but not least, off-road. A very simplistic system to use. Obviously, you can go through a lot of different information depending on what you want to see. And it's pretty simple to do as far as all of that goes. You just use the controls here on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. You can see there is a lot here. I'm not going to go through everything and tell you about everything, but just so you can see what all is there, just to make it real simple. And obviously you have your digital speedometer and the analog speedometer. I wonder how close we could get to that 140 miles per hour. Well, I'm not going to find out today, because it would probably be my last video at Morgan Buick GMC. Now, I talked about the head-up display. The problem here is that I don't know how well that's going to show up for you, so I'm going to move that just a little bit. Let's see if we can brighten that up some. I think that's as bright as it's going to get. Yep, that's as bright as it gets. So I don't know how well you can see that, but it is there. It is nice and bright. You can go through a lot of different settings depending on what you want to see that's going on with the vehicle. Obviously, we do have Super Cruise here for 2023. That is an option, but something else that changed for 2023 is that when you actually turn Super Cruise on right here, that also means that you still have, let me back up, let me say it correctly. You still have the heated steering wheel. It used to be that when you had Super Cruise, you lost the heated steering wheel. Not the case anymore. So you can still use your heated steering wheel when your heated seats are on, your heated steering wheel is on. So just something that I thought a lot of you might want to know about. And we'll run through the screen here. Obviously, everything is wireless as far as using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You have built-in navigation. You have Google Assistant here, so you can talk to Google and ask questions. Let's just give an example. Hopefully that will work. And hopefully this won't set off any of your devices. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if it does. I apologize, or just whatever you have to do in your home, because I'm about to say, hey, Google, how far can I drive?
You can drive for about 294 miles with the remaining gas.
Sometimes she's a little bit slow, but just so you can see what is there. And I'll tell you what, obviously you can pair your phone, you have your maps right here, and everything works with voice recognition, so you can set up your navigation purely by voice. You don't have to do anything other than that. It's that simple. So much that I probably don't even need to tell you. It's pretty much endless as far as what you can ask, pretty much, not completely, but it is what it is, close. All of the cameras around the vehicle, there are a lot. There's the bird's eye view overhead 360-degree view. We also have the front view camera, and here's the thing about the front view camera. I didn't show you, there is a front view camera washer, and it's this button right here. So what happens is you actually will spray windshield washer fluid across the front camera. Every time you run the windshield washer fluid for the windshield wipers, it's going to run that, and it's going to run right here. So you don't have to actually have it up on the screen like I did right there, but I just wanted to show you for demonstration purposes. We also have multiple camera views all over the truck. As you can see, you basically have everything you could want right here. And there's even additional views right here if you want to see into the bed. If maybe you have somebody with you who's lazy and you're wondering where they are, well, they might be back there taking a nap. You never know. Easy to get out of, very responsive. Have all your information for trailering right here. You can add your trailer. You've got a guest trailer if you want to, accessory, no trailer, whatever. It's all there. Music, everything's here. It's easy to use. It's easy to figure out. Here is your button for starting and shutting down the engine. You've got your dual zone climate control. And even though I don't need it today, we do have, as you can see, that's the blue, the 3 stages of ventilated seats, the 3 stages of heated seats as well. And depending on what you want to do, here's how you're going to turn the heated steering wheel on and off. So that's a pretty simple thing. Instead of being up here when you have the Super Cruise, it will be down here. Dual zone climate control, you've got all of your one-touch buttons right here. Everything pretty easy to use, pretty easy to figure out. And one last thing that you have here, the rear view camera mirror. There's a lot of options that can be used for that makes it very helpful. If you have somebody sitting in the back seat and you need to see what's going on behind you and you can't see around their head, well, when it's normal like this, that can be a challenge. That's why you have the rear view camera mirror. Very clear, it is adjustable in a multitude of ways. You can change a lot of different settings on there as well. All of the buttons for that are right here. So ultimately, that's what we have as far as the truck goes. Let's hop out on the road for a test drive. I'll show you how easy it is to use Super Cruise, and we'll see how this truck handles the road. Okay, we're gonna hop out here on the road for our test drive. And one thing about using Super Cruise is you do want to make sure that adaptive cruise control is turned on, so that way it will work. It'll give you a message on the dashboard if it's not going to work. So basically all I did, as you just saw right there, was hit the button, and then the green light comes on here on the steering wheel, and here we go. I want to change lanes. The truck's not changing lanes yet, so I'm going to hit the blinker, and the truck will automatically change lanes for me. I'm not driving, I'm not steering, I'm not doing anything with the truck at all. It's driving itself. And the thing is, you don't have to have traffic around you on the interstate to do this. That is one thing about Super Cruise, is you have to be in a situation like this where you're on the interstate basically. It doesn't work for in-city driving. Let's say, for example, Honda has what's called traffic jam assist, if I can keep from getting tongue twisted there, that will actually work at speeds of 40 miles per hour or below. And it will actually manage the gas and the brake and everything for you on properly equipped vehicles in slower driving conditions, but you don't have that here with Super Cruise. But as you can see, that's how easy it is to use. As long as the green lights, the little strip up here on the top of the steering wheel is illuminated, well, then it's gonna keep driving itself. And anytime I want to change lanes, the truck will, if I get up close enough to this vehicle in front of us, which I don't know if we're gonna do or not, we'll see. I might just stay here and let you see. But if I wanted to change lanes, all I have to do is push the blinker, just tap it. You don't have to turn it actually on. It would work that way, I guess, if you did, but you can just tap it as if you were changing lanes or whatever you were doing, but you weren't actually turning it on, where it hits the indicator a few different times, 3 times or whatever, and there you go. But I'm going to drive on up to this car in front of us, and let you just see. My hands are off the steering wheel, as you can see. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to let the truck handle what it handles. It's going to change lanes eventually. I'm not sure how soon it will, but we'll let it do that. I do want to tell you a couple of things here. One thing that will happen, if you look away from the road, I think it's 10 seconds. If you're looking away, right or left, the truck will actually sense that you're not looking at the road, and it will actually deactivate Super Cruise. Your seat will vibrate. In that case, it also will vibrate when the truck is going to change lanes, as it just did, to let me know it vibrated on the left, to let me know that it's changing lanes from the right lane to the left lane. And it'll do the same thing when we get around this little black car up here that we're going to pass, and let me know that it's moving back over. But it handles everything very well. It is important to make sure that you have good solid lines on each side, whether it's the yellow line we have on the left side here or the broken lines here, the white lines for the center line on the right hand side. But the truck does a really good job. You can change the speed and all that good stuff to take care of everything as you need to. So you can see how easy it is to use. It's really a pretty simplistic system. And now it's going to move back over. It already vibrated the seat on the right hand side. The blinker comes on. This truck drives better than some Louisiana drivers do, in that it actually always uses its blinkers. I don't have to complain about this truck not using its blinkers when it's driving down the road. But that's how easy it is to use. Overall, the truck is enjoyable to drive. It's easy to drive. You have plenty of ability. I'm going to turn everything off because we're getting close to the exit where I'm going to get off the interstate here. But with all the camera views and everything that you have with this truck, it's so easy to see what's going on around you and get around with absolutely no problem. It's a really great truck. Plenty of horsepower under the hood. Like I said earlier, you can opt for that 3-liter diesel 6-cylinder if you want to, or you can go with the 6.2-liter V8 that is basically the default motor for this truck. So overall, everything easy to use, easy to learn. I like to make the point that with GMC, say you haven't had a truck since maybe 1985, you've had your truck for that long, almost 40 years, well, then what happens is you're saying to yourself, how hard is it to learn the technology in these trucks? In this one, it's not hard. Can't say that of every single brand. Some are different than others, but it's pretty simplistic here. Easy to use, easy to learn. Once you learn it, you'll be glad that you did. If you have a smartphone, you can learn the technology here. Really nice truck to drive. Good for long road trips. The seating is comfortable. It doesn't have a rough and tumble truck ride, basically, and that's without any weight in the bed, without a trailer on the back. So it's really a great truck. You get quite a bit here. Obviously, a lot of safety features that'll let you know what's going on around you to keep the driver and the passenger safe. You know, I've said it before. If I showed you every single little detail about this truck, we would have likely an hour to 2 hour video, and that's probably a bit much. And that is what you get for a sticker price of $85,200 with the 2023 GMC 1500 Denali Ultimate. I didn't cover every single little detail because if I did, the video would just be entirely too long. So there is a lot more here. But tell me what you think down in the comments section. Got to say a special thanks to my friends at Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this truck for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.